Hello, pals, and welcome back to the Cherry on Pop podcast. My name is Jess. There is no Haley or Jonas bonus this week because Haley had a family thing that she had to tend to. So it is just me this week, and you've unlocked a new location and a new format. We are in my house in my living room with no other co-host. So we're going to try to do just a streamline of consciousness here, considering that I'm literally going to be talking to myself, which I should be pretty used to because I do like YouTube videos sometimes on my channel, and it's just me talking to myself. And sometimes those can go like very long, like almost like a podcast. Like in theory, my reading YouTube channel could just literally be a podcast because I talk for way too long, and now I'm getting like ideas. Maybe I should just do that on my reading channel instead of trying to make like really structured videos. Anyways, so we're going to talk about some things that happened in pop culture this week, and we're also going to talk about what I'm thinking for next year, what I got for Christmas. I don't know, just bouncing all around. But I want to start with the most relevant news for anybody out there who loves Harry Styles, listens to Harry Styles. Yesterday, Harry Styles uploaded on his government YouTube channel. He remembered the password and he logged back in. And he uploaded like an 8-minute video that was titled Forever, Forever. And it's like some behind the scenes, I guess, of maybe like some merch drops or a music video. I couldn't really tell. And then that's like the first half. And then the second half is video footage from one of his concerts. So like, what does this mean? Everybody is trying to decode it. All the Harry Styles fans are trying to decode it. Apparently there was a Forever website that was up and people couldn't get into it. Like it was locked and you had to put in a passcode, and someone put in the passcode, let me in, and it let them in, but it only worked at like the very beginning, and then they dropped it. Like they totally cut it off and no one could get back into it. And I'm guessing that from the screenshots that I saw from where people actually did get in, it was like a shop. So what does that mean? And I saw where someone else commented in one of the posts, and they like do coding, I guess, and they looked at the code for the website, and it's coded to be like a shopping website, like you can add items, you can add to cart, you can check out. So I'm gonna guess it's some kind of merch, Harry Styles merch, which I'm so glad that man is doing something. Maybe he's getting back in the studio. I don't know. All I see on Dumois is pictures of him and Zoe Kravitz, like shopping, out on the town, walking around. I need him back in that damn studio in a really big way. So I'm going to start saving for the Harry Styles tour that has not been announced. Nothing's been announced, but I'm going to go ahead and start saving money because people are going to hike up these prices like they did with the Taylor Swift tickets. I just know it. I just know that one ticket in the nosebleeds is going to be like $400. I'm going to crap myself to sleep because I'm going to get a nosebleed ticket, but it will still be good. But I already know. I'm gonna put that shit on a firm. I don't even care. This time I have to go. Last time, there was just like no way that I could have made it work on the last Harry Styles tour. The prices were just like way too expensive. I think that was 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago. I think it's been 2 years since Love on Tour. So I really need him back in the stew, making some songs, or just, hey, do another tour of Love on Tour. People would go again. They would go and watch basically the exact same thing. But anyways, so that's in Harry Styles news this week. I'm really looking forward to what this means. I'm really looking forward to deciphering it. And actually, I've been watching, the new volume of Stranger Things just came out, volume 2, and I'm feeling the exact same way in the Harry Styles like fandom that I'm feeling in the Stranger Things fandom, and that people are posting all these theories and they have all these great ideas about how it's going to go or what's going to happen. And a lot of the top comments are like, I am Ted Wheeler in this fandom, like meaning that I'm no help. Like I'm merely an observer on the outside, and I can do like a very little bit, but it's not very helpful. It's not really going to do anything. Like that's how I feel in both of these fandoms. So I'm just, taking it in. I'm not going to try to decipher it myself. I need someone to decipher it for me because I'm going to be using my brain cells to do other things. But in Stranger Things news, if you have not watched Volume 2 of Stranger Things or Volume 1, of season 5, do not watch. I'll put like a little timestamp that says when it's safe. If I can remember to do that, I'm going to give you like 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so me and Haley were going to do an emergency episode of the podcast. If you watched last week's video, we said that we were going to do like an extra episode of the podcast, like a 8.5 in between episode 8 and 9. But after we watched part 2 of season 5, we just like didn't really feel like we had a lot to say. Like we didn't have enough to say to constitute an entire video. Like, yeah, things happened and it was pretty outside of the realm of what most people guessed online. Because I did see the Duffer Brothers say that they had been reading a lot of fan theories after part 1, and they said that no one had really hit the nail on the head on what the actual plot line was going to be. So I do agree with that. I did not see very many plots. I know a lot of people said that the wormhole is going to tie in and that it would, but they didn't know exactly what it was going to be. They didn't know that Hawkins is actually the Upside Down. The Upside Down is a tunnel to, they're calling it the Abyss in volume 2, but if you have been watching anything Stranger Things, if you know any of the lore, if you read any articles or watched any videos about the the stage play that they did, you know that the Abyss is actually Dimension X, which is where Henry Creel got his original powers from, yada da da da. We've talked about this before. So in this new volume, these 3 episodes that they came out with on Christmas Day, I was really expecting, like, I know that, okay, people are really split on it. Some people are very, very disappointed because they're like Byler stands, like they want Will and Mike to get together. And I was convinced that that was going to happen. I watched a lot of videos and at first I was like, no, I can't be moved on this. But now I am convinced. However, post volume 2, I'm not as convinced. There's nothing that really indicates to me that Mike and Eleven are not together. Like there was some weirdness happening in volume 1 with Mike and Eleven that made me think maybe they broke up in this 18-month span. However, I don't think they did. I really do not think that they did. So I don't know if they're going to end up being together. I think that Kali is really sus. She's acting really, really suspicious. And I don't know if it's just like her character is really dead set on stopping this program, which, yes, they need to stop the program of all of the government trying to take impregnated women and turn their kids into kids with superpowers like Elle and Kali, Henry Creel. But I just don't really feel like, I don't think that's like her main motive. Like there's something, she's moving in a weird way. She's moving in a weird way that I'm not really liking. I know that Hopper is very suspicious of her, which, hey, he should be, because she's trying to make Elle kill herself and not come back with everybody else after they do this bridge experiment that they're doing to try to suck out the Upside Down and break the bridge between the 2 worlds. But whatever. I just want to say about this volume that there were some really great moments. Really, really great moments. I think that it's very 80s coded, obviously very 80s coded. And I do think that Vecna will be defeated by the power of friendship, which is so 80s movie coded. Like you win things by the power of friendship. And I think that all these characters coming forward and like telling these truths about themselves, like Will facing everything that he's faced in this season, coming out to everybody, Nancy and Jonathan breaking up, Dustin and Steve sorting out their differences in their friendship. I just really think that all these things tie back to season 1 where they're like, friends don't lie, opening up and really being truthful with the people around you. I think that that is the key to getting rid of Vecna forever. Like very 80s coded, friends are the reason why we're gonna win, like that. I think that's really truly what is happening in this show, and I'm totally okay with that. I am a little bit afraid that they're going to make it end with like, this is all just Mike's game, like of Dungeons and Dragons, or it's like a book that Mike wrote post like Will disappearing and maybe dying. I just don't know. I don't know about all that. I've seen a lot of theories about that. I'm not really sure about it, but Nonetheless, I was really upset kind of with volume 2 after it ended, and me and Haley and Jonas watched it together. I felt a little lackluster. I think it's so hard that they ended volume 1 with such like a big, like boisterous ending, and then they go into volume 2 and like the really cool scene with Will going into Vecna's mind, like that happened in the first episode. So you're like, oh, we're really setting it up. And then episode, 6, things kind of slow down. There's a lot of heart to hearts, there's a lot of talking, long monologues and dialogues from like between two characters, and I think that really like, I don't know. I know that they were trying to story build and they're trying to like resolve some plot lines that they had, but I just didn't really feel like it was needed as much. I just don't really feel like it was needed as much. But anyways, I did enjoy volume 2. I liked volume 1 better. I mean, it was just a little cooler. It was just really cool. And the way that volume 2 ended, it didn't make me feel like, oh, I'm tearing down the walls, I need to get to the next episode. I mean, I am excited for the next episode because it's the last one, but I don't have that same sense of like urgency that I felt with the first volume. In the first volume, I felt like, oh, I don't know what's going to happen next. Like, is Vecna going to turn around? Like, what's going to happen? In this one, it's like, okay, there's a sense of resolution because it's just them going into the upside down. There's not anyone like kind of stuck in peril besides the kids. Like, I don't know. Okay, I have to get off Stranger Things because I could literally talk about it forever. I want to talk about Heated Rivalry. I personally have not watched Heated Rivalry. I haven't seen a single episode. I know that it's a gay hockey show, and that's kind of where my knowledge stops. That's all I know about this show. I know that everybody on my feed, TikTok, Instagram, influencers that I watch, I love Brooke Averick. Brooke Averick is deep into Heated Rivalry, and I know that it's a book first, so I do want to pick the book up. As you can tell, I do read, as evidenced. Well, let me backtrack. I know how to read. I have not been reading a lot lately. I do really good at reading normally around this time of the year, like the cold months, from about November to May. I do really good at reading. And then when it becomes summertime and I'm outside after work and I go to my friends' houses after work, like go to their pool or whatever, I kind of fall off of my reading because I'm not a good group reader. Like, I can't sit at the pool at someone's house where they're there and like be reading. I feel like I'm missing out on friend time and like bonding with them. So I don't like to read in public, or I mean, it's not public, but like in the sphere of my friends, unless they're reading too. But even then, like, I'm so nosy and I want to people watch that I just can't. So during the summer, I have a hard time reading because I'm just not as at home and not as like understimulated, I guess is the word. Because when you're with your friends, you're stimulated, you're playing games, you're laughing, you're talking, you're catching up. But during the winter months, you're not really going out as much. So I normally typically read more during those months, but I have not been able to lock in for whatever reason. I've just been, well, I know what the reason is. The reason is this damn phone. Like, I literally cannot, you have to pry it out of my hands almost. My screen time is down, thank God, from the beginning of the year. My screen time, I think during spring, was like 13 hours a day. That was the average. 13 hours a day. Granted, I will say that maybe like approximately 3 to 4 hours of my screen time is me watching stuff like on YouTube. I have something pulled up while I'm eating food, or on my way to work I have YouTube up like in the car, and I have a 30-minute commute, so an hour of screen time there is just me driving, because sometimes I just really don't want to listen to music. Sometimes I'm not feeling music at all, so I will watch something on YouTube, or like it'll just be playing. And like the other day on Christmas Eve, I went shopping to get like last minute presents, and I was not feeling music-y, but I wanted headphones on because I didn't want anyone to really talk to me. You know, you get it. So I had over-the-ear headphones to be very obvious that I didn't want anyone to stop and talk to me. And when I had my headphones in, I wasn't actually watching anything like on my phone because I was shopping. I had my phone in my purse, but it was playing Pride and Prejudice, the movie. So like that counts as 2 hours of screen time right there. It's just me watching this movie when I wasn't even really watching it. Like I had it playing I had it like playing in lieu of music basically because I just wasn't feeling very musicy. I don't turn my headphones up super loud because I kind of want to be able to hear what's happening outside of my headphones. And so sometimes if I am listening to music, the music in my headphones will get like mixed with the music that they're playing in stores. And there's something I just can't get behind with that. So I was listening to the movie Pride and Prejudice while I was shopping. And where was I even starting with that? Oh, back to the books. So reading has helped my screen time drastically. I've been trying to be more mindful of my screen time in the last couple months, and it's down. I think I just got the report today, and it was like 7 hours and 30 something minutes, which is still abysmal. Like 7 hours of my freaking day, like over a third of my day is spent on screen time. Like I've got to put the phone down, honey. You've got to put the phone down. So I'm going to try to get back into reading, which leads me back around to Heated Rivalry where I started. I think I'm going to watch the show. It is going to take me away from reading, obviously. I need to pace it out, which is what I tried to do with The Summer I Turned Pretty back when I didn't watch The Summer I Turned Pretty when it was coming out originally, the first 2 seasons, actually 2 and then half of the 3rd season. I picked up The Summer I Turned Pretty halfway through the 3rd season because, I started at the front and made it all the way up, which I already had some spoilers because I was seeing so much Summer I Turned Pretty videos on my TikTok that I was like, okay, I've got to pick this show up because there's a lot of people talking about it. It's going crazy. It's going triple platinum on my TikTok. So I started watching The Summer I Turned Pretty, and my goal was to watch like one episode a day until the finale, because I had enough episodes to do that, enough days to do that. Like it was close to a month that I had until the finale. So I was like, oh, I'll just watch one episode a day and then I'll be caught up. Then I spent 3 days, or really 2 days, binging the entire series. It was like almost sick the way that I was so obsessed with it. I sat down on that first day, I turned on episode 1 and I simply could not stop. And I was crying so much. I don't know why I was so emotional while I was watching The Summer I Turned Pretty. I don't think I was like on my period or anything during that 2 or 3 day span that I was catching up to where it was presently going in The Summer I Turned Pretty. But I was like sobbing my eyes out for Conrad Fisher. I felt so bad for him. Like every time someone did anything that was remotely mean to him, I would just start sobbing. I don't know. I was really on one when I was watching that. So I'm afraid that that's what will happen with Heated Rivalry, that I will start watching and I just simply will not be able to stop at all. I'm going to have to really pace myself on Heated Rivalry. Also, I want to buy the book and maybe read the book first before I start it. But if I buy another freaking book, I'm going to freak out because I have so many, like these 2 shelves. This is 2 out of 4 shelves that I have, and like this is all like adult fantasy, and this is YA fantasy, and that's like it's more YA, like not fantasy stuff, and then also some like kids books, and then books that I've gotten like recently that I've bought, and you can't even see, but there's like another stack on top of the shelf. And then on the other side I have like romance, some like general fiction, and then like mystery horror. And as I look at these shelves, you're going to say overconsumption. Hey, you're right when I tell you that over half of these books I have not read. I've got to stop buying books in a really real way. However, I am reading the Percy Jackson book right now. I started it yesterday. I'm about a third of the way through this Percy Jackson book, the first one, The Lightning Thief. And I read these like honestly 17 years ago when I was like in 5th grade or middle school. I was reading Percy Jackson, and I think I read all of them. I read the whole series. I think I read the entire series when I was in middle school, and I don't remember a lick of it. I don't remember anything that happened in it because obviously I was 10 years old and I can't remember any of my childhood basically at all. So I'm rereading that. However, it is like a first time read, and I'm watching the show, and I'm kind of like comparing what happened in the show and also what happened in the movies, which the movies sucked. So I'm kind of pushing those out of my mind too. But I'm comparing the show to the book. The book is cracking me up because it's just so little kid coded. Like in the show, they try to do better. They make it more palatable for a wider audience. But like the book obviously is like a middle grade book. Like it's for middle schoolers or like elementary schoolers that are reading chapter books. I read it. I mean, I'm a third of the way through. I think I read it for like 30 minutes. Like it did not take that long to get that far. So I said that I was going to have the entire series read before this podcast episode. Obviously, there was no way that was going to happen. I am hoping I'm going to finish this book maybe today. And then in order to pace myself and to like as a reward system for myself and to encourage more reading, I think between each of these Percy Jackson books, because I know that I'm going to be locked in, like I'm pretty interested in what's happening. And I always want to just like jump into the next book in a series and read through the whole series really fast, like binge it all. But in order to promote better reading habits, I am going to read a different book in between. I'm looking at all my shelves. I'm going to read a different book in between each of these Percy Jackson books to incentivize myself to read so that I get to know what happens next. So I think that the next read I'm going to do, I don't know if it's going to be a romance. I think I'm going to do like a wheel spinner and let it pick what I'm going to read in between. And maybe I'll do a different genre in between each book because there will be 4 different books I'll have to read. And maybe if I can get through the Percy Jackson book series all the way through and read 4 books in between that, then I will buy Heated Rivalry. I think that's the only way that I can do it with a clear conscience. So I need to read there's 5 books in this. I need to read 9 books before I can buy Heated Rivalry. However, I did buy a book yesterday, and it's The People We Meet on Vacation by Emily Henry. I have a lot of other Emily Henry books, almost all of her other books. Well, maybe half of her books, but I don't have The People We Meet on Vacation. I don't think. I better not be looking at it. Oh my God, I have The People We Meet on Vacation. I just ordered on Amazon. 1 second. Hold on. I'm seeing the cover. Okay. Turns out I have The People We Meet on Vacation. And for some reason, I had really convinced myself that I did not have this book. And I ordered it on Amazon. So hold on for 1 second while I cancel that order before it ships. Okay, they're attempting to cancel my order. I really cannot believe that I did that. I usually keep a pretty good mental like inventory of the books that I have, but the reason why I wanted to buy this, which I will definitely be rating this in between one of the Percy Jackson books, is because the movie is coming out on Netflix on January 9th, I'm pretty sure, and the actor, the main love interest in it is Tom Blythe. Tom Blythe, you know him? President Snow, Coriolanus Snow from The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes. Obsessed with Tom Blythe. So I wish they would let him be British though. For like 1 second. I wish they let him be British. He's British. All the roles that I hear him in or that I've seen. Well, okay. The 2 movies. Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes, he doesn't get to be British, and in this he does not get to be British either, but I'd love to see him British in a movie. So I will be reading that definitely, probably after maybe after this first Percy Jackson book. I'll start The People We Meet on Vacation because that comes out. I'm also so excited. Well, I'm excited for The People We Meet on Vacation because it's a rom-com, and there's just not a lot of good rom-coms going on right now. There's just not. They're all cheesy or like Lifetimey, Hallmarky. That's not what I'm looking for. I need some depth. I need some drama. I need some reasoning and character building between these people. And people like this one by Emily Henry. So I'm definitely going to read The People We Meet on Vacation. I really cannot believe that I ordered that. So let's see. Okay, guys, I need you guys to lock in on something that you honestly may not care about at all. You might not give a single F about this, but this is a special interest of mine, and it is coming soon, which would be Supercross, which is dirt bike racing. I am pretty locked into that. Me and Dylan, we follow it. It's like the only sport that we really keep up with regularly and watch. Like, we watch all the races. We go to some races. Next year, we're going to 2 Supercross races 2 weekends in a row, because there's one in St. Louis, which is like 3 hours from us, and then another one in Nashville, which is like a little over 2 hours. So we're going to 2 weekends in a row of Supercross in April, so that will be very fun. But the season is about to kick off. The first race is in Anaheim, California, and I think it is the second weekend in January. So I wanted to give you my top 3 predictions of how the season's going to go, like my top 3 riders, how I think they're going to finish out the season. This is like with an asterisk that like if they can stay healthy and not get hurt. So if you don't care about Supercross at all, you can definitely skip this section, or you can, just keep listening and maybe learn something. So Dylan loves dirt bikes. He rides his dirt bike. He's actually he's gonna go ride his dirt bike later today, and I'm gonna go watch him because I'm a supportive wife. And he likes the dirt bikes. He was like watching Supercross, motocross, all that kind of stuff way before we got together, and then he kind of fell off on it for a few years, and then like 2 years ago he was like, Supercross is going on and I really want to go to this race that's in Nashville. And I was like, Supercross? Why would I want to go watch Supercross? We went to the race in Nashville. I found pretty decent tickets for like under $70 each, and it was so much fun. Like, it was so interesting. Like, I just really loved the dynamic. I like the way that the sport is set up. I like that they have teams, like, but they're not really teams. Like, it's an individual sport. And I really like when things are individual. They count on yourself and you only to do this thing and accomplish this thing. And there's some people that are just like so talented at it. It's crazy. So there's 2 different classes of dirt bike riding, and one is a 250 dirt bike, which is like a smaller engine, and then there's a 450, which is a bigger engine dirt bike, and they have competitions for both of them. So for Supercross, which is smaller track, tighter track, more technical, and it's inside normally, like in Nissan Stadium, inside like different NFL stadiums a lot of the time, and they put dirt down. And for that one, my top 3 predictions, because my number 1 pick is already hurt in the preseason, which really, really sucks. My number 1 pick is obviously Jet Lawrence, and that might not be obvious to you, if my dear watcher, if you don't watch Supercross, but he is, I mean, not even like trying to be fangirl about it, but he's undeniably like so talented at Supercross. So he was my number 1 pick, but last week he announced that he was hurt. He got hurt during like preseason practicing, which really, really just put a damper on that, because he was like who I thought was going to win, which he also got hurt last year too when he was winning. He's just really, really good. But my other top 3, these are in no particular order, because I can't put them in an order. There's just no way. I'm going to go with 3 different people who are on 3 different teams, and the teams are just like the brand of dirt bike that they're on. That's basically what the teams are. Some of them are fully factory riders, which means that they are completely backed by a factory like Honda, Suzuki, Yamaha, and then there's privateer riders that maybe have some support, and by fully backed I mean like they fund everything, they pay for everything, they pay them a salary to be on the team, that kind of thing. And most of like the top riders are all going to be on factory teams. So all these people are on factory, you would say, teams. And the first one is Chase Sexton. Chase Sexton, he won Supercross like 3 years ago. He was second place in the Supercross points last year. He's very good, just a little inconsistent. Like, he'll have really, really good races, and then sometimes I think he gets in his head and then he has like really bad races. And he also just changed teams. He was on KTM last year, and this year he's going to be on Kawasaki. So people are like, is he going to be any good? Because both of the Kawasaki riders that they had both changed teams this year. So they filled it with 2 different people, 2 more spots. And I don't know if he's going to be great, but I think that he has the potential to do so good if you just like get out of his head. And I don't know, because he's like the most fit person out there, definitely. Like seems like he's the strongest, most well in shape, but there's something, I think it has to be mental block, but I think that he'll do pretty good this year. The next person is Eli Tomac. He is on Yamaha. And just kidding. He also just switched from Yamaha to KTM. So he's going to be going through a learning curve. He's a veteran. Like, he's been riding for a long time. He's in his 30s. He was going to retire last year. Actually, he got hurt during the Supercross season. He didn't get to finish it out the way that he wanted to. So he decided to do another year. So he's on KTM this year, which is an orange bike. And I think people have been saying he's been ripping in the preseason, people being Dylan, because he kind of keeps up with like the back end. He watches a lot of like behind the scenes. He watches the prepping. He watches their YouTubes. And I am not quite as locked in on that as he is. So I get a lot of information from Dylan, and I think that Eli will be good. He's always a pretty good bet. I mean, he's won like a ton of races. And then my number 3, which might be a little controversial, it's Ken Roczen. And he's on a Suzuki. He stayed with the same team this year. He'll be on the same bike that he was on last year. These are the yellow bikes, and that's like literally Dylan's favorite rider. Ken Roczen, he's very, very good. Very good. Him and Eli Tomac, I think they're around the same age, but as long as Ken Roczen can not get hurt and like stay healthy, then I think that he'll have a pretty good year. I think he was maybe 3rd in the points last year for Supercross. He's really good. And I think honestly, so he has always been like a really well winning rider. He just got hurt a ton. And I think that really hurt his career a little bit in terms of what he could win in his championships. And last year, earlier in the season, he had the red plate, which means he was the points leader. So I just think he has the potential to do that again. I think that he's coming at Supercross. He's coming at racing with a different mindset than he was before. I told this to Dylan the other day, but I feel like in past years, he's been like really down on the fact that he hasn't been winning and that he keeps getting hurt. But then last year, he kind of had a shift in his mindset, and he was like, I'm really glad just to be here. I'm glad to race. I want to have fun. Like, this is something that I love doing and I just want to do it. And he did better last year. So I think that his mindset has changed and he's looking at it from a different perspective. Not that like he doesn't want to win, because obviously these people go out there to win. They get bonuses, they get deals, they get all kinds of things when they win. They get accolades, bragging rights, whatever you want to call it. But I think that he's coming at it from a different perspective now. And I think that it's like a mental block has been lifted, basically. So I'm really loving that for him. Loving his attitude last year, and I think that this year he'll just keep getting better. So Ken Roczen. So my top 3 for 450, which is a bigger bike, would be Chase Sexton, Eli Tomac, and Ken Roczen. 250. So for 250 Supercross, in case you don't know, they're split up into 2 different coasts, East Coast, West Coast, just because there's so many riders and there's not a lot of gates for Supercross. Like, it's a smaller track, so they can only allow less people. So they split it up into East Coast and West Coast, and they split the riders, and they haven't come out with the list of like how they're going to be split this year. Like, the teams pick what side they want their person to be on, and they have not released which side people are going to be on. So I'm just kind of doing an overall guess of the 250 riders, and I would say that my top 3 are probably close to like most people's top 3s, just because they're kind of the best riders right now. And also in no order, but the first person that I put is Hayden Deegan. Don't love his attitude very much. He's a YouTuber. I don't know if you've seen him. If you're watching this podcast, I would say probably not. But if you have, he's kind of a Nepo baby dirt bike rider, which, you know, positives and negatives to that. I mean, the positives are that he got introduced to it to a really young age. He has been racing for a long time. He is very talented. His dad was a dirt bike racer, professional, and he did like stunts and stuff too. The negatives to that is that he kind of has a big head. Like, he's really, really, I don't know if that's like because he has been in the spotlight, because his dad was, you know, because he's an Nepo baby. I don't know what it is. I'm really interested to see what he's going to say in the new season of Supercross, because he was like really cocky and confident last year, which I feel like he can be, because he can kind of back it up. Like, he does win I just don't love that kind of attitude. It's just not my favorite. I think that when he moves up, he'll have a little bit of an attitude change because they did do some off-season racing, like overseas, and he was really humble, strangely, in his interview, and was like, I'm just happy to be here. I look up to these guys. So I'm hoping that maybe he'll have a bit of that attitude going into this 250 Supercross season, because it just makes him more likable. And a lot of people do like him because he's kind of like, I don't give a fuck. Like, I say what I want, I do what I want. I mean, it's all TV. So obviously it makes good TV. It's entertaining to watch. But it's hard for me to get behind someone with that kind of attitude. He has like millions of fans, or hundreds of thousands of fans. So he's not worried about me and my little pop culture podcast. So that's my first person. The second person that I have is Joe Shimoda. He is on Honda, and I just really like him. He's a pretty chill guy. He finished up, he won they have like 3 different parts to their racing series, and he won the third one, which is like the playoffs. So he won that for 250. It was pretty exciting. I really like him. I like his attitude. He would have done really good in Supercross last year, but he broke his finger really strangely in a really weird freak accident kind of way. Broke his hand and or his finger, and it really messed up his Supercross season. He still did really good with his finger broken, but just not as good, like not to full potential. So that's my number 2. And then number 3 is Seth Hamaker, and he has kind of had to come up. I think that he has been hurt maybe the last couple years, and then last year he did really, really, really well, and he almost won his Supercross region, and he would have if he wouldn't have had food poisoning at like the first race or something. He was like really sick the first race, and so he did not good, or maybe he didn't even race. I think he raced, but just did really bad. I don't remember. That was literally a year ago. If he wouldn't have had that one race that was horrible, he would have taken the title. So I really like him. Also, he's really nice. I met him at the last Supercross race that we went to, and he was really sweet, and he took a picture with me. And a lot of those guys, they only really take pictures and do stuff like that during their autograph like time, where you have to wait in line and get to them. And I'm not doing that. I'm not that kind of soldier. I cannot wait in like a 2-hour line to get an autograph in like 1 second. So he just happened to be out when I was walking by, and I talked to him for a second. He took a picture. He was really, really sweet. So also that makes me want to put him higher because he was so nice to me. So those are my predictions for Supercross. If you care. If you don't care, thank you for watching anyways, because it's hard to just keep talking in a continuous loop and not have anybody here to bounce off of. The next thing that I wanted to talk about was a dream that I had last night. I had a dream that I was on SNL, which obviously had to be a dream because I'm not funny enough to be on SNL. Like, I'm not too full of myself to admit that. Like, I'm not funny enough to be on that show. There's no way. There's only like one person that I know that is funny enough, like personally that I know that is funny enough to be on there, and that's my friend Allie that does comedy. She does like improv and stuff like that, and I think she could make it on SNL. Like, she'd be a great writer. So anyways, I had a dream last night that I was on SNL, but it was like I was previously on SNL. Like, I'm not currently on this season of SNL, and I don't know what it was that really sparked that, because last week was the last week was the last episode of this year for SNL, so I haven't even watched anything in a while, but it was like I was like a previous year cast member, and I had Ben Marshall in my dream, which is a current year cast member, and Sarah Sherman, who is also a current cast member. But it was like I met up with them to get coffee, and we were looking through pictures of me being on the show, and I was like, wow, like I was so good, maybe I'll come back next year. And then I woke up thinking that it was real. Like, I woke up thinking that I was on SNL, and I was scrolling on my phone looking for these photos. You know, like the first 2 or 3 minutes after you wake up from a dream and you're pretty convinced that it was real, and you're like trying to do damage control and make sure that whatever went down in your dream like has been fixed. Like, sometimes it's when you're having a bad dream, or when you do something that you're not supposed to, or if you like forget about an assignment or whatever, and you wake up and you're, oh my god, I have to finish this. that's how I felt about this dream when I woke up from it. I was like, oh, I need to get back on SNL. Like, I've got to email Lorne right now. And Lorne Michaels was in my dream. So I was talking to him and I was like, oh, I'll send you a message later. And I woke up like, I have to message Lorne right now. It obviously wasn't real. I was so disappointed. And I think part of it too is that every single day I check my email waiting for my SNL, like, you won tickets in the SNL lottery, which I don't even know if my email went through. Let's talk about that. To get tickets to SNL, like regular tickets, not like where you stand outside and wait for tickets, like last minute tickets, you have to enter into a lottery. I don't know if you guys know this. You email you can only do it in the month of August. You email and ask for tickets, and your name gets entered into a lottery. Your email gets entered into a lottery to win, I think, 2 tickets. And they don't, like, sometimes they don't give you any kind of advance notice. Like, really, you get notice. From what I've read on Reddit, because I've done a lot of research on this, you can get notice like anywhere between 2 weeks to like a day before the SNL like show on Saturday. Like, some people find out on Thursday that they have tickets to go on Saturday. So obviously for me that would be crazy, considering I live in Kentucky. I'd have to book flights, book hotels, whatever. I emailed on August 1st because that's the day that it opened. And I guess 1 jillion people were all emailing because apparently you were supposed to get a confirmation email that was like, we received your thing into the lottery. You know, if you hear from us, then blah, blah, blah. Keep your email out for us. I did not receive one of those emails. I did not get one. And it says don't email twice. If you email twice, you're disqualified. So I'm like grappling with this idea. I didn't realize that I was supposed to get an email back. Last year when I did it, I also did not get an email back. So, and I know that I'm emailing the right thing because I'm literally copying and pasting it from the webpage. So on this thing, you email and you basically say like, oh, this is why I want to go see SNL. So this year I emailed on August 1st, which is my anniversary. And I like wrote like, oh, today's my anniversary. I would love to go. Dylan has never been to New York, and I think it'd be a fun trip for us. I love New York. I've wanted to go to SNL for so long, ever since I watched an episode for the first time my junior year of high school. So I emailed this. I didn't get any response. So then I sent a second email that was like, hey, I just want to know, like, did you get my first email? Because I didn't get a response. No response still. So I don't think I'm going to win tickets this year because I never got a confirmation email. I think that when I emailed, 1,000 other people were emailing at the same time. And I don't think that any of us got confirmation emails according to what I read on Reddit. So I think that maybe I'm not in the lottery and I'm just waiting every day for an email for no reason. But anyways, SNL, if you want to give me 2 tickets to Saturday Night Live, you can email me. My email is in the bio on my TikTok, and that's linked down in the description. So please, SNL, reach out to me, give me tickets. I know you're watching. I'd laugh so loud. I'd laugh at everything. I would laugh at every single thing that happened on that show. I would be the best I would be the best cast member. I would be the best audience member that you've ever had. You don't even have to hold up the applause cue card for me. I would know. Intrinsically, instinctually, I would know what to do. So I don't know, SNL, if you're watching, I'd love to go and watch. But either way, I think I am planning a trip for New York for next year. I didn't go to New York this year. I went the last 2 years in a row for the first time 2 years ago. And then I every day since have thought about going to New York, and I went again last year with a smaller group, well, just me and Dixie, my friend Dixie, and that was a lot of fun. But I got the flu. I got the flu while I was there, and I missed like my last 2 days of a 4-day trip. And I was supposed to go to Simon and Schuster, the book publisher, and meet up with some of the people that work in that office. But I literally was dead dog down sick on the day of, so I could not go. But I am planning another trip to go to New York. I want Dylan to go to New York. I hope that he will like it. I don't know. I've always gone during January when it's super duper cold, and I just don't think that I don't think that Dylan can do that. He does not like the cold weather, even here when it's like 28 degrees. And when you're in New York in January, literally like snow flurries, it feels like it's 4 degrees outside. I just don't think he has that dog in him to do it. So I'm planning a trip to New York if I win tickets to SNL for like a January or February show. I mean, obviously I'm going to go. It would not be peak timing in terms of weather. I'm hoping that I win tickets for like maybe May, like towards the end of the season, because then it will start to get a little bit warmer. But either way, I am planning a trip to New York for next year. I'm going. Like, I'm definitely going to go. Nothing will stop me. Nothing is going to stop me. I have my real ID and I'm able to fly now. So I'm going to be out there. I haven't been during the summer, or I want to go maybe end of May. And I haven't been during that time of the year. I've literally only gone in January when it's been freezing cold. So I think that the springtime will be nice. It will be, you know, everything's kind of starting to grow back. It won't be super hot. Like, I'm not going to be like sweating my ass off, which is something that I, you know, don't love doing. I'm definitely not going to go in like the sweltering heat of the summer where it smells like garbage outside, but I think that the springtime will be a nice time to go. And I want to explore some things that I didn't get to go to the last 2 times. I just really haven't planned out my trips. Like, we just kind of go and walk around. We have general ideas of what we want to do, but sometimes we don't follow it. I do really want to go to Central Park. I haven't been there. I would like to take a ride to the island where the island where the Statue of Liberty is. Like, you can take a train. Oh my God. I'm starting to get real jumbled up. I would like to take a ferry to the Statue of Liberty and look at it up close, because I only saw it from far away, because like I said, I've gone in January. The water was crazy rocky when people were going out there, and I was like, no, I will not be lost at sea. Like, that's not going to be my ending for me. So I haven't been able to go when the weather's good. And I also want to take that sky tram, whatever it's called, the skyline that goes from the city over to Roosevelt Island. I want to do both of those things because those look really, really nice. So I am planning a trip for next year. If I don't win tickets before then, I'm going to go anyways, just at the end of May, past the time for Saturday Night Live tickets. So really manifesting that for myself, manifesting a great trip, manifesting winning tickets, because that would be such a fun thing to do. However, if I don't get tickets, I think I will go back to the Comedy Cellar, because that was so fun. Me and Dixie went last year, and the comics are hilarious. Like, they're literally like, I was laughing so hard that my stomach hurt. When I left, you can't be on your phone, and that just adds to the charm of it. And you're like packed. It's a packed little room. They fit as many people as they can in there, and you sit so close to people and you just laugh, and there's so few. I don't even know how many people are in the room, maybe like 50. Like, it's so intimate. Oh, it was so much fun. So if I don't get to go to Saturday Night Live, I will definitely go back to like the Comedy Cellar or something like that. I think that will be so much fun. And also, like, I know how to work these New York subways like a freaking champ, dude. I can work my way through them. They make so much sense. The grid system, it makes sense to me. Like, I feel like Cynthia Erivo. Like, I feel like the concept of being able to work the subway, I can do it. And I also want to go see Hadestown in a big, big, big way. I have to see Hadestown, actually. Like, there's no way I can go and not watch it. I listen to that soundtrack every single day. I really wish that I could go. I could have won tickets sometime between like 2 months ago and February, because Jack Wolf is currently playing Orpheus. People are saying that he's the best Orpheus that they've ever seen. Like, he is Orpheus to a T. But I do not think that he will be there by the time that I go in May. I hope that there's another great Orpheus. I'm sure there will be. But I'm really, really hoping, praying, manifesting a great trip to New York next year. I actually have quite a few trips planned for next year, and I want to talk about next year for just a small little moment at the back end of this podcast. I've been trying to think about what my word of the year is. I'm so sorry. This is not pop culture at all. Like, this whole last portion is just going to be stuff about me, because it's been slow news. Okay. It's been really, really slow. Really quick before I dive into my thoughts for next year, Louis Partridge and Olivia Rodrigo have reportedly broken up. You've got to be kidding me. Like, I'm going to be sick thinking about that. I was so happy to finally get, like, we're going to be getting an Olivia Rodrigo album where she's like in love and happy and not like angsty breakup, like revenge. And I was like, oh, this is gonna be so nice. Like, it's gonna be so good. Well, now she's probably recorded this album where she's happy and in love, and it's gonna be love songs, and she's gonna have to go on a tour singing these love songs, and her and Lewis have broken up. Oh, that's gonna make me sick to think about, because I remember being so young and like heartbroken. Like, there's no way you could make me go out and do a tour doing love songs after that. I would be so sick. Oh, gosh, okay, that was just a little side note just to tie in some pop culture from this week. But for next year, I want to talk about, I wanted to do this with Haley, and I was going to text her last night and ask her to reflect on and think about what her like word for next year is going to be. But before I could even text her that, she texted me and said she couldn't do the podcast today. So I want to talk about what my potential word of the year for next year is and kind of what I want to accomplish with that. So I think that next year, my word of the year may be, which my word of the year this year was like present or something like that, like be more present, because my screen time was so crazy towards the end of last year. And I think I've done better at being more present. I also sometimes feel like not there. Like, I'm kind of disassociated and like out of my body, and feel like I look up and I'm like, wow, I can't believe I'm here right now. Like I just can't believe that me as a person is sitting here in my human body, sitting with other people. So I have tried to be more present this year, but I think that my word of the year for next year will be like thoughtful. I want to be more thoughtful in like various aspects of my life. I want to be more thoughtful with the food that I'm taking in, with the amount of food that I'm taking in, because I am historically like a binge eater. I want to be more thoughtful with the people I'm around, my relationships to my friends and my relationship to Dylan. I want to be more thoughtful about the gifts that I give people, just more thoughtful. Or maybe my word should be like intention. Like, I want to be very intentional. Oh, I think my word might be intentional as I'm thinking, or intention. Which one? Do they mean different things? No, I think they basically mean blah, blah, blah. I think they basically mean the same thing. I want to, oh yeah, I'm changing my word to intentional. I want to be more intentional with my time. Yeah, I like that word better. With my time, with my money, with my food that I'm intaking, with my friends, with my gifts. I want to do everything with thought and real like reasoning behind it. I want to think about the outcome of everything that I do. I just want to be a lot more thoughtful and intentional going into next year, just in all aspects of life, honestly. And even like with this podcast, with my other YouTube channel, which I seldomly upload on, like, I want to be more intentional. Like, why have I spent so much time on this podcast, which I'm doing, we're doing this podcast, we're doing it every week that we can. And I like, part of the intentional is that I didn't want to do another break because we were already out 2 weeks ago because I was sick. So I didn't want to do a week out, one podcast, and another week out. I just felt like that wasn't fair to you guys as my 18 subscribers. And I want to be able to give you guys good content. These are things that I like to do and they bring me joy, and I need to be doing that instead of scrolling on this stupid phone. So I'm going to be more intentional in all aspects of my life. I like that word. I have to write it down. My planner has a spot that says like my word of the year is blank, and I haven't wrote it in yet because I've been debating, but I like the word intention or intentional. I think I'm going to go intentional because I like when I write in cursive the L loop. So we're going to do intentional. That's such a stupid fucking reason for wanting to do that. But anyways, I think that might do it for this podcast. I am honestly so shocked that I could talk to myself. I feel like a psychiatric patient, honestly. When I was little, and sometimes still now, I will like fake whole conversations when I'm in the car with myself, going to work or going anywhere. I will just fake entire interactions and just pretend. And I do that sometimes in the mirror still, like when I'm getting ready, if I'm putting on makeup or curling my hair, I'll like fake entire conversations with myself. So I think that this kind of goes along with that. I do kind of feel like I'm locked in a padded room, like just a stream of consciousness coming out of a padded room. But I did enjoy this. I like it a lot better when I have someone else to talk to. And when I don't have to fill up the space entirely by myself, when I don't have like a clear direction or intention. But I'm enjoying this. This is nice. It's like really comfy, which also is really comfy because at Haley's house, we sit on the floor. We sit on the floor because we don't have a good spot for the podcast right now. So I'm really happy that you guys have stuck with me through this solo episode. It was kind of scary to think about, but make sure that you like and comment and subscribe to our channel, please, if you made it this far. Also, make sure you follow us on TikTok at Cherry on Pop and on Instagram at Cherry on Pop Pod. That's POPPOD. Haley works very hard with going through all of she goes through these videos and makes clips, which I just don't have the dedication or like the brain cells to be able to do that. So I'm so grateful for her for taking on that task. So thank you, Haley. Thank you, Haley. Everyone say thank you. We miss you. And we'll see you next week on our episode 10. So anyways, guys, I hope that you have a great week. I hope that you had a really, really good Christmas and that your new year goes well as well. So I'm just going to stick with that. I love you guys. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye. Oh, there's no one to do the and cut. I'll do it. And cut. Okay, I almost did a peace sign. And cut.